Law Day is one of my favorite days of the year, and that's because we celebrate the amazing diversity of our nation. And we celebrate the radical idea that called us together from all four corners of the earth to join the people already here. The idea that all people are created equal, and that the only legitimate power to govern comes from each one of us, the voters. And finally, on Law Day, we celebrate the partnership between lawyers and non-lawyers in defending those ideas of equality that ever endure. It's on Law Day that we step back from daily life and we recognize that this nation is truly built on diversity. Diversity of color, of culture, of language, of history, and of ideas. Some have called us the melting pot. But that's not right. We don't give up our uniqueness when we come and join this nation. Some have called us the salad bowl. But that's not right either. Because we are far more connected than simply living our individual lives together in the same place. I like to think of our nation as a finely crafted tapestry that contains millions of unique threads that are woven together to tell all of our stories as one story. Unless you look closely, you can't see where one thread begins and one ends. But it's the color of each thread, the tone of it, the breadth of it, that come together to tell a unique story. So I'd like to welcome all of you to our tapestry. It's now your tapestry as well. And without your individual story of how you got here, your ideas on how to improve things, and your participation as voters, it will fall short of the most beautiful tapestry that we could create. The birth of this nation was premised on a radical idea at its time that all people are created with equal dignity, and that the only source of legitimate political power are from those individuals. The wonder of this idea is that each one of us brings a unique perspective of the truth and the ideas and the experiences to craft solutions for the greatest good of the entire community. No one of us has the answer, and each time any voter who's eligible is denied their vote, their voice in government, we are all poorer and farther away from the best solutions to today's problems. Not surprisingly, the idea of an equal voice and consent of the governed, provoked a backlash from those in power, and it still does today. Whether it's fear, or ignorance, or greed, or all three, there have always been powerful forces gathered against us. Those forces have used violence, propaganda, and even the courts to suppress the right to vote. Even the founders of our nation couldn't quite imagine that women, people of color, or working people could be trusted to vote. But the truth of equality is a powerful one, and its believers have fought in wars against terrorists and even struggled against our own government at times to further realize the promise of equality for all and the importance of one vote for each citizen. Sadly, even today, there are many who try to suppress voting in this country. Sometimes they include government officials who don't trust you and me to have an equal voice in our decision-making. They reject the idea of equality that our nation was founded upon. So as you join our nation today, we need all of you to join with us to work for even greater equality. We need you to register to vote in every election, to encourage every other citizen you know to vote. And we need you to speak up when you see anyone being denied their right to vote. We lawyers will work with you to preserve and broaden that fundamental right to vote. Every lawyer and judge in this room has sworn an oath to uphold our Constitution. And we would not be standing with you today if we didn't believe that you are equal citizens with us, and we will dedicate ourselves to using the legal system to protecting your right to vote. I hope every May 1st, every year in the future, you will remember today. And remember that we pledge our efforts to protect your right to vote, just as you pledge to us to be a member of our nation. We need your history, your culture, your perspective, your voice, and your vote, so that we can be all that we can be. Thank you for choosing us. We also choose you. Well,